Twisted Christian. Today I'm declaring a global currency reset watch. What does that all mean? Right now is the Dow's at, from what it looked like, it is getting pretty close to the 20,000 mark. And you have different here, at least here in the United States, you have a lot of schools shutting down. You have a lot of educational institutions shutting down. You have businesses closing down. Even in places where there is no confirmed cases, right? Then you have countries on lockdown. You have countries going on lockdown, imposing curfews and everything else. We know that the Federal Reserve did some more rate cuts, and here we are. And after that actually took place, the stock market still went down. As you can see here, it's down 9.35%. You would think at a time of crisis like this that maybe you should just shut down the markets for like a week, right? Declare like a holiday week and shut down the markets. I don't even know if they can even do that. But I think in this type of emergency, you would think that they would, but they're not. So the central bank is spending all of their money. The Federal Reserve is just pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping in the time of crisis. But yet, what are they going to do 2 weeks from now? How are they going to recover? You see, the central bank, the Federal Reserve, is pulling out all of their weapons trying to fight this thing economically. But yet, it's not working, and it's not going to work, people. We have been discussing this. For those of you who have been listening to Currency 365, myself, and a few others, you guys already know that we've been discussing that the markets had to come down. The system had to come down. And we are witnessing this right now. And this is the perfect storm, at least for Iraq, especially for them to revalue their currency. They have no prime minister. You still got the protests going on. You have the price of oil going down. You still have all the corruption. And then without having a prime minister and a leader and everything that's currently going on right now over there, you have the base attacks. There are so many different things that are going on, and they have no leader. It is truly chaos. Because we know also that they are also going to be, they're going to pull the switch first. We discussed this, and here we are with an economy that is coming down. The central banking system is coming down. And then now we have the Middle East is now starting to go on lockdown. You have they're all closing borders. Here it says Iraq imposes curfew because of the outbreak. So you're going to see this is perfect, because what's going to happen is that they're going to say, why now? Why did you revalue the currency now in the midst of all this trouble, right? That's what I'm looking for over the next 30 days. That's what I look for, because it would be insane that if 6 months from now we still haven't seen a revaluation. There has to be a situation that's going to cause them to do this. And what did I say? What would be a quick economic recovery? Right? A quick economic recovery, because if the Federal Reserve is pulling out all their guns, all the central banks, they're pulling out all their weapons right now as far as trying to fight the economy. What are they going to have left to try to recover? There's not going to be a choice but to revalue the currency. That's just my opinion. So I think as I look at this and see the perfect storm for all these things that are going on, that would be the time when most people, the virus is starting to dissipate, not as many people are getting affected. People are starting to bring their lives normal, possibly, maybe before that time period or right during that time period. But we don't even know if something else is going to happen to try to keep this economy down. Because I've told you, in my opinion, what I thought what this was. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was intentionally done. And now you're going to intentionally try to keep things going. Then, of course, you have them suspending the airports out of Baghdad. There is some things going on, right? And a lot of people are saying, there are people, and I can't get into this right at this moment, but they have been, as we discussed on the chart that I've shown you, about the mass arrest. They've already begun, and I can show you guys articles, but we'll get into that in another video. But there are many different other events that are actually still coinciding with what I've told you people, because they're not going to do this with a lot of the evil people in power. So we are seeing some of that. It's not going to be everybody where they're going to get every single corrupt person, especially in Iraq. But what they don't realize, they're missing out on their blessing too, right? They're so busy stealing that they don't realize how blessed themselves could be, and their families and their people. So now we're in an official watch. Things, folks, they could get really crazy, especially with the Dow. We just don't know where this thing is going to go. And I do look for it to hit 20,000. I just don't know if it's going to trigger anything at that point, because I think that this thing could go down another 4,000 or 5,000. I could see that, especially if another major event happened during this time period. Especially, you had the oil wars going on. How are the people going to recover? How can you recover from this economy under this current central banking system? You can't. It's going to take a very, very, very long time. So over the next 30 days, we're going to really, really keep a watch, and then we'll evaluate it from there. But folks, you need to be prepared and put yourself into position. Some of you guys are not into position. When this thing takes off, you're not going to be able to go out to the banks or maybe go online. The internet in a lot of places was going down because there are so many people at home. So if they do this thing, that doesn't necessarily say that, oh, well, I could just go online or I could go to the bank. Well, imagine being in a situation where your city's on lockdown, and then there's the revaluation. You can't go anywhere. Then you try to go on the internet, and you're trying to order from all these different sites, but your internet is down, or a particular site that you plan on using was down, right? That's why I was explaining to you about, making sure that you're ready with the stock markets. I mean, look at all the stocks. A lot of the stocks that I've discussed on this channel in the past, and also on the Patreon, if you look at the price of what they are now, well, what do you think is going to happen when this economy gets back on track? You have to be in a position and to be ready. How many of you are on the online brokers, right? I mean, the online trading sites, right? How many have you actually signed up for? Because you don't know how things are going to go, right? You saw Robinhood went down for a couple days, right? What if it starts happening with everybody else? So you got to be in position. And we're going to get more into that, because I don't think it's going to happen in the next week. I don't think this thing is going to happen in the next 2 weeks. It could, but that's why we're going to watch. And we're looking for certain things on top of what's going on today, right? So now we need to be watching where Abadi is and what he's doing over there in Iraq. I've always said that, and I'm gonna stick with that. I could be totally wrong, but we just need to see what he does. Well, folks, I thank you for listening. Let's keep a watch. Let's keep in prayer. Folks, this is what we've been looking for, some type of situation from an investor point of view. Because when I look at this this is from a different point of view, just as a regular person, this is really messed up. But yet, for the last 9 years since I've been in this investment, there has been no more opportune time for the global currency reset to take place. The economy is coming down. The central banking system is coming down. This was going to happen with the virus or not because of the debt situation. They just sped it along, hopefully to put a lot of blame on one particular president. But there's no time like I have ever seen before, where this is the perfect storm, folks. So we're going to keep watching. Make sure that you're, one of my biggest supporters, who is Currency 365, Johnny. He's one of my biggest supporters. He's doing videos daily. And over this watch period, you guys really need to be, I hope you guys are subscribed to him. And I will post some videos from his channel. But you guys need to be watching every day. Because when this thing happens, I believe that there are going to be some certain signs, some certain things. Some of you I think because we are watching, and that's why the whole world will say why now, because they will have no clue. And I think because our eyes have been opened to the situation that's going on in the markets with the central banking system and the revaluation, the global currency reset, because we have we our eyes are open to the insight of what's going to take place and what's going on now. So we may very well see certain signs appear right before it happens. We'll get into that later. I thank you guys especially for your support with my father. Some of you have actually sent gifts, and I really appreciate that. And a lot of comments. I've seen them popping up on my phone. A lot of comments and a lot of messages, and I really appreciate it. And I will get back to everybody, but I really appreciate you guys on that. So let's just keep a watch and look out for some of my videos coming this week. Some of you are only going to have 6 hours to exchange your dinars and get the Vietnamese dong. But we'll get into that later on this week. You have a very short window. There's going to be a very short window to get the next currencies. And if you're not ready, and if you're not prepared, you may not get that chance. There's going to be many other chances after the first day. But what I'm saying is, to really prosper, I'm talking about prospering in a way that you never have before. When people got involved with Bitcoin and that took off, it made just normal people like me and you, multi-millionaires, come on, 20, 30, 40, 50 million. Well, it's kind of hard to make that kind of money with, you have to spend a lot of money on dinars to do that. We're going to take for some of you, you can take your little and you're going to make sure that you're prepared so that you can increase and prosper that in the currency that will follow the Iraq dinar, which will be the Vietnamese dong, the krones, and a few others. So again, thanks for listening. Don't forget to like. The more this video is liked, it's recommended, and share it. And if you have not subscribed, subscribe. And with that being said, Twisted Christian out.